Welcome to this trial video live. Really, it's multitasking, getting ready for the day, getting ready to go work, and getting in the celery. I know sometimes it's just helpful to see things even though it seems obvious, like, well, what do you mean? You just juice celery. Well, you know, sometimes it's helpful just to see it happening, yeah? Just to see it happening. Good morning. Hi, Malia. Long time no talk and see. Good to see you. Yes, you know what's going on. Celery juice time. And it's not only celery juice time, I'm also going to make my smoothie because that's part of getting ready in the morning. And it's going to look like a total shit show in here. And there's going to be nothing like, you know, it's probably not what you think. It's probably not what you think. You know, I think sometimes we are held back by what we think it should look like, right? I'm going to try not to stop too much. I have to keep moving. The clock is ticking. Just finished working out, coming home, and those mornings where I try to figure out a workout and my nutrition for the day, probably my best bet is to prepare it the day before. Celery you always want to have you know, within freshly made, so that is something I can't really prepare before. But some of the other stuff, usually in the morning I'm like, damn, I should have done this last night. Instead, it's like a hurricane in here, and I'm just like trying to get it all done, and it's messy. So, yeah, just washing my celery. I've been buying it wholesale, which has been awesome, from a local produce market and from a local grower, which is so special. I love where I live. The fact that I have access, right, to so much high quality produce is seriously a gift. If you've been anywhere, you will see what an amazing thing it is that we have so much access here, you know, in Santa Cruz, in the Bay Area, wherever, you know, maybe in probably other parts of California also, I'm imagining. Why don't I use the whole celery stalk? I'm just chopping off like the ends and the bottom. You know, just freshness. And then sometimes I see, you know, I'm also kind of like scanning them there. Sometimes you can see little like markings, and you know, I don't care about markings except that sometimes they're little like maybe like a little fungus or something, or mildew or something. So when you see something like that, I just like to cut it out, or anything that doesn't look fresh, or if it looks like it's like separating on the ends, you know, you're like, let's get rid of that one. And these stalks I've actually had, like, because they're so fresh, they actually keep for a pretty long time. So, which is great because I've actually had them for quite a while. Whoa. And my outside fridge is pretty much full of celery, so I have a place to keep it, you know, when I'm, so that I can buy it wholesale, because it's so much cheaper. I used to get it at Costco. That was amazing if you really want to push the easy button for yourself, because it's already cut. And it's, so this is my juicer, by the way. It's a Nama. I used to use an Omega, which I also like. It's a masticating juicer, but look at, like, I can put it in this thing, like fill this up. That's like a dream, because guess what? I can multitask. And I put it over here and turn it on. Isn't that amazing? And then look, this opens, goes in there. You're busy doing something. Can you hear me? And meanwhile, I'll either keep prepping my celery, because there's more to do. I think I'm using about 4 whole heads. I don't know if we call it a head. Because I like to make it for my loved ones, even if sometimes they don't drink it. And then I have to be like, am I ever going to do that again? And then I'm like, yes, I'm doing it again. I have to detach from the outcome, right? Do it with love, because I would love for them to benefit from the celery. And I know if it's there, it will maybe get consumed, but if not, it's all good. Maybe. Sometimes. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm secretly upset for a few days. Not a few days. Maybe a minute. But anyway, so yeah, 4. This is 4. But if you're making it for yourself, I'd say like you could probably do 1 or 2, depending on how much you're drinking. If you look at, see, so I have more ready. Actually, I'm just gonna throw it in there. Sometimes I kind of feed it a little bit in the top, just to see. Look at, I have no rhyme or reason half the time. I'm like, this is why I like don't do these kind of videos, because I'm not like one that's that organized or clean or pretty about it. But I know that that's not always life for everybody, right? And we can't let that keep you from attempting things, like attempting to do celery, you know? You're not going to always look like the show, the Martha Stewart show. Alright, so now I have like this whole basket of celery, and I'll check it out, and then I'll be like, oh, looks like it's ready to be filled up again. And then I come over and I just fill it up. And I drip water all across the kitchen, you know, just kind of like, I make a big mess, and then I sometimes have time to clean up, and sometimes I don't. But the cool thing about sharing the love with people, the celery love, is that sometimes that means they clean up after you, because, you know, it's a win-win. I'll make your celery, you help clean it up. Anyways, okay, so the other thing is I'm gonna make my smoothie. I'm gonna make my smoothie while this is kind of like finishing up. So I'll feed it in the top here. See, it's not as efficient to do it this way. And then sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to start drinking it, and I just get it, I go like this, and I close this, and I pour it into my glass, and I start drinking while it's going. Depends on how much time I have, because you know the rule with the celery? I'm going to tell you right now. So if you're needing to consume like food and stuff, you gotta get your celery in. You want this on an empty stomach, and I should not have drinking anything or consumed anything 15 minutes prior. And then after you drink it, you want 15 minutes after. Got it? 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. You need to have a buffer. Let it do its thing. It needs to be concentrated. You know, another fun thing to think about when you think about celery is you think about it like, you know, tea. People are always like, what about the fiber? It's like, well, we're not drinking celery. Celery does not have anything to do with fiber right now. Like right now, you're drinking celery for a reason. It's for a purpose. You want a concentrated, you know, medicine, herbal medicine. Celery is actually an herb. And it's like, you know, when you go to drink tea for its healing properties, or a tincture or something, like, do you eat the tea bag? No, we don't eat the, do you eat your tea bag? Do you eat your tea bag? I don't eat my tea bag. But, so it's the same kind of thing. You're drinking celery, to help digest, one of the reasons, to help digest undigested fats and proteins that go rancid in your intestines, in your digestive tract. How much undigested fats and proteins do you think you have in your tract? And you know, because you'll have an overflow of symptoms, whatever those look like. They can look like so many different things, but you know, you'll know. You got some. I think most people probably do. And the reason for that is because, you know, of course we're made perfect. Yes, we are. We're made so perfectly. We're made to be able to heal and to be able to do all the functions perfectly. To be able to consistently heal and cleanse. Yes, I see that. And also, How are we looking over there? Are we multitasking enough for you? This is just orange juice. Some people do the fresh, but that's not what I've got going on today. Not today. Because I don't even have any oranges. And, yeah, so I forgot what I was talking about. See, that's the problem with multitasking. You forget what you're talking about. What was I talking about? Blueberries. Yes. See, look at Malia's like, what are you doing? Can you just focus on one thing so we can actually gather what is happening here? Malia, you know me. You know me all too well. Okay, wild blueberries. You want to see the bag? Yes, this is wild blueberries. Wild is critical. It's not gonna work the same if it's not wild. Wild blueberries, you can see, are like dense, and if you bust them open, they're dark, they're rich, they're pigmented. So many antioxidants in that. They're healing to your brain tissue. They help with oxidizing heavy metals in the brain. Oxidizing heavy metals in the brain. Meaning like, we don't want to have oxidizing metals in our brain. Oh, by the way, this is cilantro. I'm grabbing some handfuls of it. Some of you might not like cilantro. There's actually some tinctures. I'm on the fence of how much that works in comparison to the real deal. I can't confirm that it is as effective. I would say probably not. But so what I do is I'm using my purified water here, and this is what I do. I grab a bunch, I pick out anything that looks unquestionable, rinse it, and then I kind of like squeeze it, and then I just stick it in here. Stem and all, and actually I need more than this because you can see my juicer, or my blender is so full. Because again, I'm making enough for more than me. And I don't always know who I'm making it for, because it kind of, I have a rule in the house that it's kind of like, I make what I'm making, and it's kind of first come, first serve. Whoever gets it first is who gets it. Sometimes nobody gets it, and again, then I have to like deal with that, letting go. Right? I'm like, okay, try not to be upset and attached to the fact that nobody consumed the heavy metal detox today. And all that love and effort was unreceived. Oh, that's another show, right? Another show. All right. See, look, that was 4 stops, and that's what I got. See, so I don't know. Is that gonna be? Oh no, I had this too. Remember? I had that. So the wild blueberries, those ones I got at Trader Joe's. They have them. You can also get them at Nob Hill. They have the Wymans. Back to the celery. If you're going to attempt celery, you can start with 2 cups of it, like 16 ounces. Just, start with less than this. You can start with less than that. Just start where you can. You start a little bit at a time. And you just kind of see how it goes. It's always gone fine with me. I've never had, like, I'll just say a big blowout. But some people, it really gets things going right away. All right, what are we missing here? We still got this and this. We got these. Let's see. There you go. This is looking like a medical medium show right now. But this is days and days. This is years of. This is what I do for years. That's why I can barely even talk, because I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. It just happens automatically. Okay, spirulina. Here we go. You can check that out. It's the Vimergy. This is the recommended spirulina. I'm just going to do 2 scoops. I think the recipe is, I know the recipe is a teaspoon, but yeah, this might be that, but just scooping it in there, You want that in there. This is the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie. It's the same smoothie, you know, that's kind of all the rage at the moment. I've been using it as part of my personal healing regimen. I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of this in there. It looks like I need some more. And I'll show you what it is next. Barley grass juice powder, Vimergy. Okay, you see guys, this isn't perfect. None of it has to be perfect. Alright, so we got that. That's done. Isn't that fun? Actually, I don't usually add this because I already have wild blueberries, but if you don't want like such a giant smoothie, get the wild blueberry powder. That works great. I think I'll put a little in there. I'll just put a few scoops. How about that? Because I want it to be extra kick in the butt. And in here, I have Dulce. Want to see this? Vicky says, I think you left the spout up. Thank you, Vicky. It's okay. It can stay up because it's all done. There. Yeah, that's good. Dulce. Seaweed. That's what it is. Is this looking delicious yet? Yeah, clearly there's intention behind this smoothie. It's not just, you know, I mean, look at that. It's actually perfect. I mean, you've got to learn to like appreciate things that heal. Like you're like, wow, like that's some fucking powerhouse there. Sorry for swearing so early in the morning. But that's what it feels like. It's really powerful. Okay, putting the lid on. Here we go. Oh, I got things to move. Look at, and so this, getting their celery ready. I put it in these little jars, which is so fun. I mean, how lucky are they? They're so lucky. And I know for a fact that Sophia will not drink this much, but you know, sending it with love to my loves. And then I've got a big one because I drink a lot more. Well, this is the next thing. Bringing it over here. Oh yeah, I am making a mess. Now we got this. You know, this is always fun. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You get used to it. You get used to it. All right. Bringing out the juice or the blender. Get that going. To what I was saying, because I kind of abandoned that part. The part where it's like, yes, your body does know how to do all the things, and it's made to do it, and it's made to do it perfectly. And, you know, clearly, like if it was also perfect, we would feel perfectly. And the reality of now is that, you know, the world's not perfect at this point. We're not living in a necessarily pure environment. So your body is going to do the best it can with what it's got. My whole objective with my body is to do what I can to help it do what it is made to do. And a lot of that is revolved around you know, removing blocks, toxins that keep me from my healing. You know, and you can see that in your body. You can see that in your thinking. You can see that in your, you know, in your soul, right? You can see it in all aspects of your life, where you are just in the way, or something's in the way. What's in the way of what is just naturally occurring? So yeah, heavy metals are in the way. Toxic heavy metals are in the way of healing, you know, and we can't really avoid that. You can't really avoid toxic heavy metals. Everybody who is alive is exposed. It's just a matter of to what degree, and depending on to what degree you are exposed is that's how what the result is of how you're feeling. You know, if you're struggling more so, a lot of times this has to do with, like, you know, brain stuff or mental stuff, digestive stuff, moods and all that kind of fun stuff. That's to the degree of how much exposure you've had. And the other thing that we maybe don't realize, don't know, isn't like talked about, is that we don't, I mean, since we don't have all the control about it, we do what we can to maintain a level of consistently knowing, like, okay, I'm exposed, so what do I do? Just keep it going out. You got to keep moving it out. You got to do what you can to keep moving it out so it does not accumulate in your brain and cause ADHD, OCD, some of, you know, autism, memory loss, Alzheimer's, you know, like I said, it accumulates in your digestive issues, it accumulates in our reproductive organs, you know, causing a low reproductive battery. So it's a real issue. And the good news is it doesn't have to be. Yes, we're going to be exposed, but we can do something to, you know, move it out and keep moving it out. And depending on how long, you know, this is my wish, is that, you know, the sooner the better. The sooner you get kind of going on detoxing and cleansing the stuff that accumulates in your body over time, you're going to have results sooner, you know, but some of us don't know until later, so we start as soon as we can. But the sooner you know, the sooner you can get going, and then the sooner you can be free. That's the ultimate, to be free. So we want to be free, right, of what is holding you back from your natural ability to heal. Okay, I know that left out so much information, but it's still fun, and I hope that it, you know, in some way was valuable. Oh, that one didn't get blended. And yeah, it's time to go get dressed for work. So hope everyone has a really good day. And if you want to know more about celery juice or the heavy metal detox, this is all goes back to medical medium information. You can look him up or find out about his books. He's got his recipes, and you know, what the source of them are, and what they can do for you, and how helping you heal. So, all right, bye for now. Have an amazing day.